Hey guys, welcome back. It's lesson number 5, and this course is called Writing Isn't Hard for Fiction Writers. My name is Eric Cooper. I'm a published author for a series of books called Night Seeker, Star Enforcers, Merge, and the Greenville Triangle. But I've talked enough about myself on that stuff. But it's more about you guys getting the knowledge that you need to know about writing books, and for comics or even film, whatever your writing genre is going to be. So lesson 5 is going to be about doing your rough draft for your complete story. But as you remember from lesson number 4, we were talking about outlining a rough draft outline. So I went through the steps to formulate what your rough draft outline should be about. So number 1 was the beginning or the origin story, or the origin of your characters or whatever it's going to be. The second part was about the conflict, about the issue they're going to go through, what was going to challenge the characters in the story. And the third part is going to be about the resolution or the end result or the ending of the book or creation that you're doing. So those were the steps to give you. We also went over profiles for your characters, about the hero, the villain, the gray, if there's a gray character in there, an unknown, unpredictable character involved in it. And the hero or the protagonist was going to be, your shining light. And the villain is going to be your antagonist, and it's going to be your dark side. But at times, those roles can switch, as we've seen here and there, but it makes it more fun. And the gray character is always like a wild card or a joker in the pile. Now, when those things are implemented, those elements, you now have an outline or the timeline for what you want to do in your writing. So I want to go over this with you. It's very important, and I'm going to start with mainly the beginning of doing your rough draft for your complete story. Now, keep one thing in mind about rough drafts. It's going to be the hardest part of writing. And let's just say hard. It's going to be a challenge. It can be a challenge at times, but as long as you get through it, you can proceed on to better things. And your first book, I mean, if you're a bestseller, God bless you. But most times your first book is not going to be your number 1. You might have to take some time out, do a few books until you get more popular and get more of a following. But it's a process. Even my first book, I went through a lot of stuff. And my first book, Night Seeker #1, is still my pet baby. People love that story the most, but I had to redo it a couple times to get it right. And editors come involved and good artists come involved. That all comes later on, but their main thing is getting the meat in front of the audience. So that's what we're going to do here. Now, that being said, I recommend starting off with an atmosphere effect for your beginning of your draft. Now, the atmosphere, I want you to think of this as like what is going to be around before the characters are even introduced. So you have to think of it almost like a movie. When movies start, they don't go straight to the character most times. You're either floating through space, or you're going through a mountain area, or you're going through a city. It's going to be about the atmosphere, because it kind of sets the tone for the beginning of the story that you're going to tell. And they are very important. So let's say describing the sky. Is it clean? Is it polluted? Are there storm clouds? Are there birds flying around, or whatever is in your utopia? And if you're in outer space, are you going to start with an enormous spacecraft? Or is it going to be a small pilot spacecraft? It could be like a small one pilot type of spacecraft. Is it in a nebula, like a bunch of celestial clouds around? Is it going to be around comets? And stars are going to be all over the place. Or are you in light speed, where stars are flying past your vessel? These are all these elements that go into place to set the atmosphere for the story you're doing. Now, as far as the last part would be a dream state. So is your character in a dream state before you get started the story? So the atmosphere part still comes into play because you're still going to describe what's around them before you get to your characters, or the main hero and the main protagonist. Now, I personally, I rather you introduce the characters at the right timing is very important. And once you get down the atmosphere, people should have an idea to feel the tone you want to set. So when you describe the atmosphere, it's almost like an orchestra. So you're going to set the tone before the reader gets into the book. Now, the next part is introducing your first character. So will it be the protagonist or will it be the antagonist? Now, those are hard things to actually fathom which way you want to go with this. Again, because it is setting the tone when you first start in. So me personally, I like to jolt the audience. So I want to make sure, and most of the time, I want to introduce the villain. At least in my stories, I like to introduce the villain or the antagonist in the beginning, because for some reason, villains seem to get the most jolt out of people in the very beginning of things. It's like, how treacherous is this person? How mischievous are they? So I recommend the villains first and the heroes second. Now, if your hero is badass, like for instance, like Batman kind of thing, yeah, it has a lot of respect, a lot of gravitas to the character. Go with the hero first, and then get into the villain second if you want to. And then the gray one comes up later on in the story. Don't introduce the gray in the beginning. That's one thing I would stay away from. Do not introduce the gray in the beginning. So mainly it's going to be either the hero or the villain. Again, personally, I recommend starting with the villain first and then get to the hero. Next I want to get into is going to be what captures the reader first. So you have to think of your story like a roller coaster. Now, I'm fond of roller coasters. I love roller coasters. Actually was a ride operator for thrill rides back at Great Adventure in New Jersey when I was in my teenage years and younger 20s. So I was in charge of Scream Machine, Lightning Loops, Free Fall. These were like the fun thrill rides back in the 1990s over in Great Adventure. And the thrill of the push is the great thing about the way gravity reacts to the body. So this is what you want to do as your reader. You want to create a roller coaster for them to enjoy. Now, again, like I said, I like to jolt people from the get-go. So, in most of my stories that I do. So, one of the things I don't know if you guys ever went to a ride called, not Medusa, King of the Ka over at Great Adventure. That came later on after I left that Great Adventure. So, one thing about King of the Ka was that it launched you from the gate. So, it's a magnetic pull system where it wasn't even the chain link system to take you up into the incline. It was a forced push. So that what gets the people riled up in the very beginning. So that's what you want to do. You want to rile up your reader in the very beginning. Make them want to hate your villain if the villain starts first. Or if it's the hero, make them want to just fall in love with the hero because he is just so mighty, or she is so mighty or awesome. That's how you want to capture the audience from the get-go. And then once you get to that part, you're gonna go to your steep incline. But then later on, you want to start going. You want to decline a little bit. The thing is, you don't want to have a mad rush the whole story through, because it's a lot of info. It's a lot of stimulation at one time. Most people can't handle that. So you got to have the ups and downs in your story. Now, of course, don't keep it down all the time because it gets boring and you're going to lose the reader. And it's like, if it's too much of an incline, again, it's too much stimulation, you're going to lose the reader. You got to have a balance as you go through. Now, during your subplots and stuff like that, that's when the ride is fun. You're going to have your twists, you're going to have your turns, you're going to have your loops, That's all part of story creation. You want to have an adventure with your reader. So again, think of your story like a roller coaster. That's the best way to describe what you want to do with your stuff. And I went ahead of myself for the notes, and it's like, just retracking what I went through just to make sure. And make sure that your story isn't stagnant. Make sure you move on to other subjects. Don't stay on the same thing the whole time, because again, you want to entice the reader to keep going in your story. You want to make sure you have a page turner, not God, how much more is he going to focus on this? Can you get me to the next stage? So make sure that your story has a balance to it. The next thing, initial shock. I went through with you, so that's a great thing, is to have the shock. Now, if you want to have the conflict in the story in your rough draft, I will go through that as the next lesson. I don't want to cover that just yet. Like I said, I want to make this lesson a little simpler and a little short, because now you're going into the writing process. So it's going to take time. Now for the conflict, I might hold off 2 weeks. So just in case you're following this personally right at the moment, I might hold off on the conflict part. So I want you to get through the beginning of the origin story. So again, let's recalculate. Is going to be the rough draft of your story. Is going to be the beginning. That's the first part. And the origin of the characters or your environment. And make sure everything kind of meshes together pretty well. Again, we'll go over step number 2 for the conflict on the next lesson. But this is a good, simple way to start you guys off on writing your outline, or writing your rough draft. Not outline now. Now you're going to the full rough draft of your story. So, as far as this week's pull for cartomacy, I pulled the 3 cards I pulled for the week for at the end of each lesson. So today I pulled probably last night really. I pulled the 10 of spades, the 10 of clubs, and the king of clubs. Now the 10 of spades, it means warrior grief that may be the result of health problems, fear, and bad news. The 10 of clubs means that you will be traveling soon. And the king of clubs means that a man of integrity, or it could be a woman, you never know, who is generous and a loyal friend. Now, my take on this for the week. You are worrying over something that starts to consume your time and your health. Don't do that. I'm guilty of that myself at times. So you will travel somewhere to get your mind off of things. And traveling is a good thing. Even if you want to travel to the park or go on a day trip out of the area, just to get your mind freed up from what you're thinking about. If it's consuming you in a bad way, let it pass, let it pass. Now, while you're traveling, you may come across a person who may offer advice of how to handle your worries. And later on, that person might become a very good, loyal friend. So, just so you know, that pull for this week actually had a lot to do with me also. So I think the spirits have their own way of telling me, Eric, you're on the right track, do your thing. So I want to convey that to you guys. And also, don't forget, these things can also lead into your characters for your story. So it makes it more interesting for the person to read and gives them more situations to look at. But that is my end of the lesson. And make sure that you also, if you can get a hold of my books, they're on Amazon, for Night Seeker, Merge, whatever. When you get a hold of those books, think of it as a textbook. It's textbook pricing, but it's going to be a look into the way I write and the way I form my stories. So think of it as your learning guide. From me not being personally with you, now you get to look at my steps. It saves you a lot of time and effort, because I write my stories in a very simple form, but a very entertaining form. And I hope you guys get a gist of that. And as I always end my sessions, may you live long, may your writing prosper, and may you always be blessed anywhere you go in this world. Enjoy your day.